You got to go to Buffalo. You know what I mean? You got to go to Buffalo in order
Yeah.
to win. And if you can't win, I mean, you're wasting your trip, man.
On today's Top Shelf Tuesday edition of the Yacht Coaches Podcast, Dr. Adams and Coach Francis discuss the state of the NFL, including a review of all 32 teams as well as the league itself. Which teams are trending in the right and wrong directions? Welcome to today's show.
Greetings and salutations and welcome to this special edition, holiday edition, if you will, of the Odd Coaches Podcast. As on this Top Shelf Tuesday edition, we discuss the state of the NFL from each individual team as well as the league. And fans, with me today is my tag team partner. We rarely get to talk NFL because we find the balance between academics and athletics. But since it's airing during Christmas week, we're going to go back to World Class Championship Wrestling, who used to do a lot of Christmas shows. And I'm going to say he is the Terry Bam Bam Gordy to my buddy Jack Roberts, because the Freebirds were big in World Class. The icon, the showstopper, the main event, and the reason why we are here, Coach Mike Francis. And Coach, first of all, happy holidays to you and yours. I have no idea where you will be when this airs Christmas week, but I'm sure you'll be somewhere fun.
Thank you. Glad to be here. And hopefully I will be in New York for a part of that.
I hope you will be too. I will be lounging in Florida, but the weather's not going to be my friend, they tell me. But Mike, we don't get a chance to talk NFL football because you are in graduate school and we're supporting all of that. But since we've got this opportunity to have the special edition, we want to hit the league, man. Postseason's coming up. And we want to look at the overall stability of each NFL team as well as the league. So let's jump in with the AFC. The AFC East, the Buffalo Bills, they look posed for an extended run. Mike, what are your thoughts on the Buffalo Bills?
3 games up in the AFC East over Miami. I think that as long as, they continue to do what they're doing, they're going to go back to the Super Bowl. I think they're going to get to the Super Bowl. I honestly believe that they have Josh Allen and Diggs. That combination is deadly, and then you throw in the other receivers who are complimentary and help. They're really, really good. They're tough. And their defense, when they're on, like they're holding people under 20 points, and offensively they can score with anybody. So that's dangerous.
Yeah, I just worry that Josh takes too many hits. But as you know, I'm uber conservative with everything. But that dude takes some shots, man, that I'm like, don't take that hit. Don't take that hit. All right, so we're going to move on to Miami. And Miami gives me pause. Man, there's just something about them that I don't like. Whether it is they can't play in the cold, whether it's Tua, whether it's their coach. I don't know, but I don't have a strong belief in Miami. Tell me what you think about the Dolphins.
I don't have the strong belief in their defense. I think Tua can make things happen when he's healthy. I don't believe he's healthy. I still don't believe he's healthy, but I think they can make it to the playoffs. It's going to be tough these last 4 games, as you see. Their schedule is getting tough for them. And it's going to be impossible to get the Super Bowl if he can't win a game below 55 degrees, below 60 degrees, below 70 degrees, because you're going to have – you got to go to Buffalo. You know what I mean? You got to go to Buffalo in order to win. And if you can't win, I mean, you're wasting your trip, man. Then they finished the season with Green Bay. They finished the season with Green Bay. They finished the season with the Patriots, the Jets, who could be a surprise,
Mm-hmm.
It's tough.
Speaking of the Jets, man, that's a team that's trying to figure it out in front of everybody. They have some pieces in place. They lost the kid to the ACL. I think it was the running back. I think so. Um,
Mm.
they had their quarterback issues in terms of leadership and the young fella not stepping up to the plate and the backup playing well, but it's a backup for a reason. But I think they're trending upwards, and I don't think they'll make the playoffs this year. But at least they've got some structure.
Mhm.
Finally, they got some
Mhm.
structure. What do you think about the Jets?
I think they got in the next 2 games, they got chances to win. They could beat the Jaguars and the Lions.
Lions are hot right now, man.
Yeah, but I think they could beat the Jaguar and the Lions the way the Jets play for somehow. And I can't figure, for the life of me, I can't figure out how they do it, but they're always in the game.
They're always in the game. Yes, yes, hanging around to use TD, hanging around. Oh, they always are
Can't
hanging
say it's
around.
because this. I can't put my finger on it. They're having issues at quarterback. People said their secondary wasn't good, but they got one of the best corners in the game, and it's like, how they getting this done? But yeah, I'm glad to see that they are getting better. They are getting better and trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and finally in the AFC East, the Patriots. Is this finally the end for Belichick? Is this it?
Should be.
I mean, you had a nice run, a really good run, but you got Mac Jones yelling at you. I mean, there's a problem when it's Mac Jones,
Yeah.
fussing about play call. And Mike King was on the show and he made the jokes and said, hey, aren't these the old Giants coaches calling plays? Yeah, I rest my case. So any thoughts? Any thoughts on
They was
the
like 3-14 or something like that.
calling plays? Any
Oh,
thoughts on the Patriots? Or maybe I'm being too hard on them, but I think it's
God.
over.
Yeah. I think you ran Tom Brady out, which wasn't cool. And now you got to deal with these different quarterback issues and all. I think your style, after a while, you need to make changes, and I don't see him making changes. Like, he is who he is. Not saying he's a bad coach, but it's just this team is not built for the way he coaches, to put it that way.
All right, we're going to move to the AFC North, and we're going to start off with the Ravens. And I'm going to say day to day is not the way. It just seems like the Ravens plan everything day to day, and they hope it works out in the end, and it's just not working for them between not signing Jackson Kidd and Harbaugh and the over reliance on the run, still not passing it. Man, what are you thinking about the Ravens?
I'm tired. I'm tired of this whole thing. I'm tired of mediocrity. I'm tired of accepting okay. Like, it just, that doesn't sit well with me. And how long? I don't know how long Mr. Bisciotti has a good relationship with the coach, but I wonder how long before this turns into business, because you can't do this. You can't keep going forward and not taking field goals and shit like that and losing and then looking at everyone else and, well, I don't know. We
They're
just
not scoring,
oh
man.
my
I
God,
mean,
it's horrible.
they're
I'm
not
tired.
putting the ball in the end zone. And yes, you've got the best kicker out there, but it's not 3, it's 6. that
And
we're
you
going
fucking
for.
excuse me, you lose to the Browns.
And they scored 13. So
Hold the team to 13 points, you ain't supposed to lose in this league. You held the team to 9 points and you won by 1. You held the team to 14 points, you won by 2. Like, this is crazy. Jaguars beat you 28-27. Like, you need to be fired. You need to go.
need to go. Wow.
He needs to go. This stuff ain't, and no, he needs to go.
All right. So the Bengals, man, the kid's starting to grow on me. This is Joe Cool too.
Starting
The
to?
Burrow kid. Well, look, he was 100 years old when he won the title at LSU. Okay, he's old, man. So I'm making jokes. You heard me make jokes.
Stop.
And then they had the upset last year, and I was like, all right, maybe that was a 1-year thing. But now we're deep into it. They're still winning games, and he's still cool as the other side of the pillow.
Mhm.
And I think maybe it was Robert on the show who said, "Man, Doc, pay attention to this kid. This kid's got something. He's got a little moxie," as Dickman would say. So, what are you thinking about the Bengals?
They won 7 straight. Do you know in the NFL how hard it is to win 7 straight?
It's hard to win one.
That man beat the Titans, Chiefs, Browns. They beat the Browns, by the way, Baltimore. They beat the beat the Buck. They played Bucks today. They beat the Falcons. They beat the Saints. Like they're doing it. They're really getting it done. And Joe Burrow probably is one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. You know,
doing it, man. And it's not a rivalry if the only one side winning. He beat Kansas City too. Yeah. So ain't no fear.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep.
All right. Cleveland Browns. There was an old cartoon. And the line was, "You shouldn't have done it, George. You shouldn't have done it." And man, why'd you do it? You're overpaying in a market that tends to overpay. And even they're like, "What are you doing?" So you got your quarterback. But that guy needs time. He's still throwing it in the dirt. You scored 13. You need defensive help. Man, what do you think about the Browns, man?
Well, the hell, the Ravens are 3 points. What do you mean? Need help? They don't need help. I just think he's rusty. If he
ain't played in 700 games.
He ain't played in like 3,000 years. So it's a little bit. You're a little rusty. He'll be all right.
Okay.
He'll be all right.
All right, and Steelers. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Will Mike Tomlin have the chance to reboot, or will the Steelers become everybody else and hook it because they're not very good? They're not. Will he have a chance to reboot? Because Kenny Pickett's not bad, but he needs time and they need weapons and they got nothing. They got nothing.
It would be so uncharacteristic of the Steelers to make a move with Coach Tomlin. This is one of those years, and then next year he'll bounce back and they'll be in the playoffs and he starts to rescind. And they've been very patient in understanding that the business, you truly evaluate the talent that you have versus the coach. And if you're not paying people, see, that's the thing. Same thing in New England. If you're not paying people, you can't blame the coach.
Yeah, and this will be his first losing season. So
right, and the coaches don't sign the checks. So if you want me to win, get me some talent in here.
Yeah.
Like your boys say, when I cook, I like to buy the groceries.
Yeah. Bill Parcells, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. AFC South, the Jaguars. Selfishly, I've been following the Jaguars because of my ridiculous bet with them, but that actually might pay off. But they're getting better. They're just not getting better as fast as I was hoping that they'd get better, putting my $10 on it. But, Trevor's not as bad as he was under the previous regime. And time will tell, man. What do you think about the Jaguars?
They're good. They're going to be all right. He's going to be okay. Give him time. I like him. I like him a lot.
Yeah. Texans. Huey Lewis in the News had a song in like 83 called Sometimes Bad is Bad. But man, are the Texans like awfully bad. Rex
but they beat Dallas. That's what they did. They almost beat Dallas.
Well, see, that's Dallas, man. And we'll get to them in segment 2. But, man, they don't have anything. They don't have anything. What do they have good?
They scored 23 points against Dallas, supposed to have the best defense in the NFC East. And they were second best behind Philly.
All right. So, Indianapolis. Hey, Indy, what are we doing?
They lost.
What are we doing? All right. So, here's my beef with Indy. Because of the Saturday hire, you've just kind of changed everything about you in my eyes. And then we've got the on-field product. And the on-field product, you had talent. You did. We went into the season thinking you could compete in the AFC South for
Who's
a
we?
playoff berth. I did in the preseason, and I had their defense is not bad, and they did the Matty Ice thing. Okay, you still got the running back that's good, but when you go up
Who's we? Chemo
33 points in the National Football League, and you lose, I got a problem, man. I mean, that's just bad math, as we like to say. That's just bad math. So, Mike, tell me what you think about Indy,
I can't.
because that's what are we
You
doing?
You can't do that. You can't do that. That's
Bad
bad.
enough 28-3 and the running joke, but why got to be Matt Ryan? Yes, why got to be Matt Ryan?
Twice.
You know,
Super Bowl, and he got the top 2
28-3, and the internet's mean because one of the memes said 33-0. We got it right where we want, and the internet's awfully mean. Now we got it. It's Matt Ryan. So,
yeah, let him score one more time, then we're gonna get Matt Ryan.
So
that's horrible, man. Yeah, I think the whole thing. I think they're tripping back there.
Can Jeff stay? Can Jeff Saturday stay as coach?
He's gonna have to. They hired him.
Well, he's the interim coach to the end of the year.
If they can do that, they're gonna hire him. It's that simple.
Man, he can't stay.
He's going to.
Oh boy. All right. And the Tennessee Titans. Why are you wasting Derrick Henry's best years? You're just killing the guy, man, for no reason. I've got a hamstring injury. I'm not playing the rest of the season.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay. So any thoughts on the Tennessee
Titans?
Titans?
Nothing surrounding him. Nothing. Absolutely nothing to help that guy.
That's some Earl Campbell stuff right there, man, for the long time.
And Barry Sanders. That's what it is. It's
right.
bad. Defense is bad.
All right. Finally, we're in the AFC West. Kansas City Chiefs. They're really not as good as people think they are. And I love when Mike Wilbon says they're a dynasty of one, because when they beat talent on talent and they get punched in the mouth, Cincinnati, it's hard for them to come back. And now they have less talent to do it. But what do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I think, losing Tyreek Hill and all that, I think we go back to relying on the quarterback too much. I think Dallas does that offensively. Like, instead of running the ball in some situations, Dak might audible out for a pass and no one says shit to him about it. And it's, to me, have to be in the system. I think Kansas City let too many pieces go. You have to have more than a tight end and a quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. All right, Las Vegas. Chris, I'm sorry, but where there's no vision, people perish. Raiders have no vision.
None.
They have no identity. I have no idea what they're doing, and they will muddle in mediocrity. What do you think about the Raiders?
Just like the Titans, I can't figure it out. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what the hell's going on. Is there a plan in place? What is the plan? What does it look like they're trying to do? I can't. It's just, you go back day to day. I'm thinking week to week. They're just trying to survive week to week. That's what it looks like.
All right. Denver. Hey, Denver, you picked them. Okay. You had your choice of everything in the store, and you walked to the Russell Wilson shelf. You took him off the shelf, put him in the cart,
dusted it off,
rolled the cart to the Whole Foods, whole paycheck, as we like to call it, and you overpaid for that guy, and now you're stuck. It is your fault. Enjoy. You went to the coaching store, you picked that guy up off the shelf, you put him in, went to the aisle, Whole Foods or Whole Paycheck, instead of going to the Giant or the Safeway, you go get the expensive stuff, and now you're stuck with it. And that's kind of how I feel about Denver. I didn't need to go to Whole Foods. I go right down the street and get it just as good and half as cheap. But what do you think about the Denver Broncos?
I would have went to Wegmans.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with Wegmans.
I would have went to Wegmans, but yeah, I think they this Russell West, this I almost said Russell Westbrook. This Russell Wilson experiment did not work. It's not going to work. He's alienated himself,
and the check's clear.
You know what I mean? He's alienated himself. Like, his locker is away from the rest of the team. Like he don't like I.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And finally, fans, the Chargers, who I jumped on early. I did. I have my weekly, season-long bets with the Chargers, but I thought the Chargers would be better than they are, and they're really starting to play better. I like Justin Herbert. I like the pieces that they have. I just wish they could string, just a little more consistency together. But they should be in the postseason, and we'll see what happens. What do you think about the Chargers, Mike?
I think the young man Herbert is doing better. I think offensively they've kind of figured out some things that help him be who he is instead of like worrying about a system. They kind of start to build a system around him,
Mm-hmm.
and because of that, I think they'll be better for it.
All right. So, fans, in segment 2 of our State of the League Holiday Edition, we're going to talk about the NFC, and we'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast.
The reviews are in for Dr. Keith Adams' book, Finding the Balance, My Personal Journey to Academic and Athletic Success. College professor and student-athlete academic expert Dr. Lisa Rubin said, "There is nothing out there like this book, so I do hope people will pay attention and give it a read." Former George Mason standout Fowler Campbell said, "Consider this book an opportunity to work directly with Dr. Adams, just like I did. I assure you that there will be something you can take away that will be useful to you throughout your personal journey." Ryan Waite, a recent college graduate who is a software engineer, said, "I like how the book is based on research, which makes it good for general students as well as student athletes." The book serves as both a memoir to Dr. Adams' 30-year academic and athletic career, as well as an instructional guide to assist student athletes, parents, coaches, teachers, and administrators navigate through the challenges of finding a better balance between academic and athletic success. The book includes over 15 personal stories and anecdotes from Dr. Adams, along with numerous former players and colleagues from a variety of sports and endeavors. You can order your copy at www.ckasaveproject.org. From the main page, simply click CKA Save Project Services and order the Find the Balance book. For more information, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast in segment 2 of our special holiday State of the NFL edition. On to the NFC, and we're going to start with the NFC East. The Washington Commanders. So, Mike, is it wrong to just not like a team because of their boss? They're trying. God bless them. The Taylor Heineke, all of that stuff. I still think they should play Sam Howell, but whatever. But is it wrong just to not like the team because of their boss? I really just, the Snyder thing bugs me.
True. I'm just interested how we started at the bottom of the league.
not according to the rankings.
Yeah, all right, they next to the bottom. They in third place. They just above the Giants. Or they tied with the Giants, but they got the tiebreaker because they beat them. All right, my bad. But yeah, I don't like anything about the organization. You know how I feel about them personally from dealings, even with my son. Yeah, you see the jersey back here, but the way that whole thing went down was not good. And they've been doing that forever. And I'm sure more owners do. And nobody just pay attention to it.
So I got to ask you while I got you, because you're the football guy. They remind me of the daggum Bullets with Wes Unseld.
Yes.
Okay, they're going to fight to get into the playoffs.
Doug Williams was the Redskins, yes.
They're going to get into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to lose in the first round. Mm-hmm. And then why did we work so hard when there's other teams that we talk about that are like, hey, we're going to trend this way, we're building this way.
There's no real plan in place. There's no real plan in place, and they're selling hope to sell tickets. They're selling hope. That's all they want to do. If we did this or we one play away, they're not looking long term. They don't look long term. Neither one of them want to spend money. That's the first thing. Let's get that straight. Ain't neither one of them spending money for top tier athletes, quarterbacks, receivers. They're not doing it. Mm-hmm. So they're not going to win. I mean, in this league, you got to pay to win. Buffalo went out and got Diggs.
Yeah.
How's that worked out?
Went out and got some players that are not 400 years old, and now you're growing with them. All right, we're gonna
Kansas
move.
City paid Mahomes. You remember that contract?
Yeah. They paid him early. Said this is it, and there you go. And now we're gonna figure it out.
Name one time that the Wizards or the Commanders did that.
Well, technically, they paid Bradley Bill. That's why they paid that. All right, we're gonna go to America's team. The Dallas Cowboys, and yes, they're still America's team.
Say it again.
So if this, I'm not doing all of that, but that was for my brother because he's as big a mark as you are.
Billy,
Rick is as big as mark as you are.
give me straight, Rick. You know how we do.
But is this the year? It is 20-some years in a row. It's all lining up. They're gonna get in. They're gonna be like the 5th seed and play like the Bucks or somebody horrible that they should beat. And then, wait, they haven't won a playoff game. What am I talking about? So, tell me about Dallas, Mike.
I'm really disappointed that this seems like same old song. It sound like Digital Underground, all around world, same song. You remember that?
All around
In the world, same song. I think that's what we got going on here. I hate it. Jerry Jones has to leave for them to move on to the next level. It has to be someone that comes in without the drama, without the without letting the coaches be coaches. We need somebody who's gonna be hard on the players, and somebody who ain't gonna take no stuff. And that's why he got rid of Jimmy Johnson. That's why he got rid of not the tuna. Yeah, the tuna.
Okay.
Because they didn't get along. And it's because he wants friends and he wants yes men. He doesn't want coaches. You know what I mean? He wants guys going to kiss his ass and praise him. And that's not what's going to make us win.
Well, Vince is gone from WWE, but that dude ain't selling his team. So the Giants, who's gonna be your quarterback? Daniel Jones has played his way into somebody calling him in the offseason. He's played enough that somebody's gonna call and inquire about his services. I think he's played good enough. But the Giants are not good, and they overplayed themselves, and bless their hearts, they've overperformed. But now there's a little tap on the shoulder. It's called reality. And reality these last 4 or 5 games is going to punch them in the face, and they're not very good. But I'm sorry. What do you think about them? And sorry, Mike King, I'm just not sold right now.
I think that the Giants, a couple, I'm not going to say the one piece away, but I think like two, if they could get a dynamic wide receiver, I think it would make the team better. They need a wide receiver who can make plays. They already got the guy in the backfield, injured or healthy, but he's there. He's in the long term, right? You've locked up Saquon.
Hopefully. Yeah. I think they got his extension.
Okay.
And Dayball's done a good job coaching. He's done a good job coaching.
He has.
But man, at least they're trending up. And the league's better when both New York teams are interesting. That's all. I didn't say they got to win everything, but it's interesting. The league's better when, the Jets aren't woefully bad and the Giants are not woefully bad.
When's the last time that happened?
Huh?
When's the last time that happened?
Exactly. So moving on to the Eagles. Now, I'm going to turn heel now on the Eagles. Okay. That's Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You have to win it all, but they're going to turn heel because they won it all with a backup quarterback. So, yeah, Jalen, hey, buddy, you get a couple of attaboys and some pats on the back, but that's Philly. They boo Santa Claus and cheer heels. Ask Arn Anderson, okay? So I got to think they're going to lose early in the playoffs. I don't believe that they can – that once this gets going, I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. Because
the 12-1 Eagles are going to lose early in the playoffs.
I'm thinking that, man. What do you think? I could be wrong. I'm wrong every week, but I don't think I'm wrong about this.
Yeah, I think that they're the class of the NFC right now.
They are 100%. No doubt about it. No doubt.
And as long as they got home field, I think they're going to be successful.
And
I don't
I hope so. I
I don't
like
see it.
Jalen Hurts.
I mean, I'm a Cowboy fan. You know what I mean? So
Um,
outside of 49ers, I don't see nobody that can beat the Eagles in the
okay.
NFC.
I like Jalen Hurts. It's a heck of a story, heck of a dude. And Philly has a way of doing some Philly type things. And the fans, the heel turn is coming. All right, NFC North. Detroit is building the right way, and Jared Goff's not a bum. Their coach has got buy-in, and you better hope they don't make the playoffs because the last few weeks of the season, this ain't no net rankings. They're beating people, and they're doing it in a way that says, if you let us in, we're gonna be a problem. What do you think about Detroit?
Uh, they're trending in the right direction. I like the way they're going. Uh, don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, but they are making it good. Their season is very good, and they're making it tough, and they compete. That's all you can ask for, really.
Yeah, and again, every week, Will and I joke and say they play hard for this guy, and yes, they are. All right, Chicago Bears. One, the Chicago Bears are already eliminated from the playoffs, so don't play that kid. Hold them out. You know what you got, but don't kill him. Okay, you're not making the playoffs. Whoever you got, just roll that other guy out there and let him get killed. But save Justin Fields for next year. What do you think, Mike, about the Chicago Bears?
I think that 3-10 don't cut it. Let's pack it on in, protect ourselves, go to the backup. Tell him it's going to be a quarterback competition next year, but he has to show the rest of the season how he's going to do it.
Oh man, ain't no competition. Justin Fields is your quarterback.
No, but that's what you tell the backup.
Oh, that's true.
You tell the backup when you sit Justin Fields' ass down so he don't get hurt. Hey, it's a true competition. We believe you can do this. And we want you to take the next 3 weeks and show us what you got.
That gave me coach speak already. I love it. All right. What are we going to make of the Vikings? What is this?
Don't know.
The Vikings, you have all of the talent. And I pick you. I pick you every week. You get the text messages. Hey, I'm going for the Vikings. Go for the Vikings. They don't cover. They got to come up with the greatest comeback in the history of NFL to win a ball game against a team that they should just beat.
You got to score 35 second quarter points in order to win a game.
got the fans yelling at us. My boy Robert on the show says smoke and mirrors. What are you thinking about the Vikings, man?
Folks got mad when we said that, didn't they? What did he say? Like your video is horrible. Your show is horrible. He got mad. He got salty. Yeah, like we got haters.
Means we're doing something right.
No, I just don't understand the Vikings. Vikings just they let Diggs go. They did bring in the other guy. But
I like that other kid. Was it Jefferson or something?
Yes, I like him a lot.
He's good. He's good.
He's hard to cover. You got to commit to, or you got to play zone and keep him boxed into a triangle on top of him. But I just not sold on what they're trying to do.
I can't push those chips to the middle, so to speak.
No, I'm just not. They can't get my money.
Yeah. All right, and finally in the NFC North, Green Bay. To quote the legendary one-hit, two-hit wonder Don McLean, bye-bye, Miss American Pie. It's over. It's all over. And you deserve every bit of it, Green Bay. It's your fault. Your indecision, your lack of gumps and grapefruit has caused you this foolishness. Congratulations. Any thoughts on the Packers?
Couldn't happen to a better organization.
Just your fault. So I'm done with it.
Yeah,
all right. NFC South, absolutely, positively horrible. And we're about to talk about 4 bad teams. Okay. Hey, Tampa Bay, even the Undertaker retired. Done. And it rarely ends well. I've been saying that over and over. This is what bad looks like.
For
What do you
400
think
years.
about what do you think about Tampa Bay?
Too many injuries to come back from. Main one was in the line when it started first day of practice for them. They've been trying to chase and correct that ever since. And we know Tom can't play well when he has pressure up the middle. So when you lose his best, protector, they've been fighting that all year. He's not comfortable. He's throwing with his feet moving. He's not able to step into it. His personal life ain't exactly the greatest, dealing with that. I mean, I'm sure he loses sleep,
Yeah. Well, we're going to move on. New Orleans is a hot mess, and I don't know what I was thinking about in the preseason when I said those jokers were going to win 8 games. So I don't know who's quarterbacking, don't know who's coaching.
From week to week.
Don't know anything about them. Hot mess, hot garbage. Good luck to you.
Garbage.
Any thoughts on the Saints?
Garbage. Great town. No.
I've never been to New Orleans. I missed the Final Four in New Orleans, and every time it's gone to New Orleans, something's come up. But it's on the list. All right, Atlanta. I was listening to a lot of Prince. I got the new, it's called Prince, all the lyrics, the stories behind the songs. And one of my favorite Prince songs is Billy Jack Bitch. And the line in it is, do you ever really try? Do you ever wonder why? What are you doing, Atlanta? Are you even trying? You throw Mariota out there. What are you doing? So, any thoughts on the Atlanta Falcons?
Absolutely none. I don't take your full approach, but yeah, I'm not paying attention to them.
Yeah. And Carolina, time to rebuild again. Another rebuilding project.
Did they ever stop?
They got a new coach now with a new vision and a new mission. No, actually, they don't. They have an interim coach to the end of the season because Matt Rule stole all that money going back to Nebraska. That guy's a criminal. I love it. I ain't mad at you. Get the money. All right. And then the NFC West, San Francisco. I got to love their approach right now, Mike, because they're worrying about tomorrow. They're not worried about tomorrow now. They're figuring out today. Backup quarterback. They had Trey Lance, ankle injury. Jimmy G, come on back, ankle injury. Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. Hey, just don't mess it up. And they're still winning. And they're still winning well. Debo's out. We'll figure it out. And Christian McCaffrey is not the most durable player in league history.
He takes a lot of hits.
So what are you thinking about the 49ers? Can they hold on long enough to win a title and then whoosh, blows
I'll
up?
see how not. I think, again, other than the Eagles, this is the only team I see in the NFC that really gets it done every week. Every week, no matter what you throw in front of them or whatever they're going on.
What about the quarterback situation?
It don't matter. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. All right. Rams, they're done. They're never going to win again. And congratulations on your Super Bowl. But as a result of you winning, here's what happened, in my opinion, based on my years of living and studying. Coach got more notoriety. Coach already talking about retiring. Aaron Donald talked about not coming back till they did a wheelbarrow full of money. There was a reason why the Lions didn't do anything, and Matthew Stafford had a heck of a season. Okay. Thanks to OBJ for giving us your leg and winning the Super Bowl, and now that's gone. I mean, all of the things you told me about last year that made them good, you can't talk about it anymore. No. They're done. And I hope it was worth it, because you are irrelevant for the next 5 years. Sorry. That's how I feel. What do you think, Mike?
They are finished. They're finished. It's finished.
It's over.
It started when Homeboy was entertaining a job for Amazon.
Yes, and I am not mad. Coaching's hard. It's a tough lifestyle. And John Madden proved to you, once you start getting them TV checks, you can talk all the trash you want, but that check's clearing. Okay, Barkley's got a second career just talking.
Mhm.
So, all right, Seattle. There is a limit to my quarterback theory, Mike. I know I say quarterback is overvalued, overrated, but that's still Geno Smith. Okay, that's still Geno. And there was a point in this season where the equipment manager did this. Hey, it says Smith on the back of your jersey. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to be doing this. Okay. So Pete Carroll can only hold on so long, as much as he's in great shape and all. Seattle's got to pivot and do something else. But hey, what do you think, Mike?
I think that he tried. I think the Seattle tried harder than some of these other clubs to make their program
They
better.
do.
I really
They do.
do. I think they did. They worked harder to improve their program. And to start the season, it was okay. Midway through the season, I think Gino did okay. No, stop.
Excuse me, sir.
Not the tap on the shoulder. Stop. No, I think they did all right. I mean, they're in the NFC West.
Gino, what are you doing? What are you playing well for? What are you playing well for?
Oh, 500. They 500. They got a better record than the Rams, the Cardinals. They 500.
Yes, by the time this airs, I don't think they'll be 500. All right, and last but certainly not least, well, actually least to me, Arizona. And quite frankly, I just don't like you. Okay, I don't like your coach. I don't like your quarterback. I don't like anything about what you're doing.
You love Kingsbury stuff.
You know, this guy failed up, and I'm still mad about failing up. How do you trip up? He's supposed to fall down, not up.
Well, some people can.
And he's gonna get another job. That's what's killing me. I'm like, as soon as they get fired, some college is gonna wheelbarrow $7 million and say, we've got a guy who's developed quarterbacks, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And I'll tell you where he should go. Mississippi State, but they already hired somebody. That'd have been perfect.
Who they are?
The defense coordinator. Again, it's Mississippi State. I mean,
that one slipped by. I didn't see that one.
Yeah. So, anyway, any thoughts on Arizona?
No thoughts on Arizona. This quarterback situation, he holding them hostage like Brett Favre did Green Bay, in my opinion.
The check cleared. I can tell you that.
That's the problem. Like, I don't know if I would have ever played him. Like, he got to prove. Like, you got on one end, and this is where the problem goes. You got on one end, you don't pay a guy like Lamar who's shown you, and on the other end, you pay guys who ain't won shit. Like, they create their own problems.
And Kyler's out with the ACL, and there's no guarantee he's going to be ready in September. So now in the offseason, you have to address quarterback. And I believe they're playing Colt McCoy. They dusted him off. Colt McCoy, come on out.
Okay.
All right. So as we close this segment, in segment 3, we're going to talk about the state of the league, man. The league's got some stuff that they've got to address too. And we'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast.
There is an old business adage that says, what gets measured and monitored gets done. It is also fact that deadlines spur action. That is what the CKA Save Project academic monitoring service can do for student athletes. Measure and monitor their academic progress to improve their grades. Our academic monitoring services provide ongoing academic support for student athletes for a designated period of time. Our academic success coaches work with student athletes on time management and organizational skills, along with improving their ability to self-advocate. Every few weeks, our academic success coaches meet with student athletes to assess their academic progress, as well as provide ongoing academic advising. If needed, student athletes have access to CKA Learning Specialists who provide virtual core subject academic support for student athletes. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free virtual consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast. And in segment 3, we're going to talk about the state of the NFL. So one, having the government investigate you is not good. Okay, I'm giving you a public service now. Here's just some advice. The longer Snyder stays, the more questions you have to answer about things you have no interest in answering. So, hey, NFL, what are we doing? Mike, any thoughts about how the government, the federal government, is just hanging around the league a little more than I would want them to?
A little more. You don't want them people in none of your business. You don't want none of them. The alphabet boys, you don't want to see them. Alphabet boys, CIA, FBI, all that stuff. You don't want none of them people investigating. You can't come in. You talk about the IRS, you talk about everything. You can't. Nothing goes right when they come to visit.
Yes,
Nothing.
I have no interest in that.
And their conviction rate is very high.
Yes.
The
only two people I know that beat the feds are Barry Bonds and Vince McMahon, and that's everybody else is lost.
That's tough.
So, all right.
That's 98%.
So the job hiring cycle.
Oh.
We're going to get ahead of this. The Jeff Saturday interim hire was a bad look. As I said to you in the beginning, having the government investigate you is not good. You have a lawsuit pending that has not gone away where Brian Flores talks about your hiring practices. And then one of your owners fires a coach and brings a guy with no experience out of the television booth and puts him on the sideline in charge when you had more qualified candidates, some of which were minority. Notice how I phrased that.
Mm-hmm.
That's never going to go away. So when we have job openings, because everyone is hired to be fired, you put even more of a light on something that's already got a light on it and a lawsuit. Mike, what are we thinking about when this new job hiring cycle coming? Because that Monday when everybody gets the boot is coming.
Yeah, Black Monday coming, but the problem is that it just shows that the Rooney Rule was a farce. It shows that it's a suggestion. In a sense, though, it's hard to tell people how they should spend their money, who they should hire and pay money. Yes, there are African-American or minority qualified coaches, but we don't get in the circle because there aren't minority owners.
Man, that hire's a bad look, man.
But
that's a bad look.
Oh, I know it is. It's the worst there is. It's worse than Steve Nash.
Yeah, at least he was a two-time MVP. Yeah, at least. I mean, you can almost make the argument, but it was like, who? Who? Okay. All right. Yeah. Player safety. Is it a concern or not? Because I'm watching players.
Quarterback safety is.
Apparently not. You saw what they did with Tua, and they still rolled them back out there. We've got to do something. That was man. Remember when Will texted you when he showed the picture? I was like, that picture's gonna be out there forever.
It's cool.
I mean, we have to do something. One, with player safety, and tell me if I'm wrong on this. I think the roster size has to increase.
Yes.
I think the roster size legitimately, I don't know that number. I will defer that to you and your skills, but 53 does not seem like enough in terms of just playing people.
I think 58 would be good if they added 5 more people to each roster. But then again, now you're adding 5 more salaries, so that's the issue.
It ain't like they don't have the money, man.
Yeah, but billionaires don't stay billionaires by giving away money.
Yes. All right. So player safety is an issue. And you want more games. Like,
no.
It's bad math.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And we're going to close out with the old, in with the new. A lot of old established players will be phased out this year, as it is every year. And we're going to have new faces of the NFL. Same thing with coaches. A lot of the older coaches are going to be out. A lot of different coaches are going to be in. Any thoughts on some of the people you think we should watch and keep an eye on as the faces of the NFL in any shape, facet, form? Player, coaches, anybody you want us to keep an eye on?
I can't think of anybody to keep an eye on because the way it's structured currently, there's going to be some people that's gone too soon that shouldn't leave, but health-wise, I can understand why they are. Coaches, they just going to hire who they want to hire. There's a lot of great assistant coaches out there that should be head coaches, but they don't, they don't pass the pigment test. So that's going to be an issue. I'm just saying, man. I've been,
yes,
it's what it is.
Yes. On the player side, keep an eye on Josh Allen. Keep an eye on Patrick Mahomes because they're ascending. Keep an eye on Joe Burrow. That guy's doing well. I'm starting to see the wide receiver position be treated even more differently than it already is. When Terrell Owens and a couple of those guys are out, it was kind of like super diva. And it's kind of like not that way as much as it was. I think running back has been totally devalued. It's like
it's out of
throw out anybody you want.
Yeah, get one in the fifth round.
So I don't think a running back's going to be the face of the league. I think it's going to be a quarterback or a wide out. I tell you the position that I'm looking at now. And Dion's got me thinking about it. If you're a cornerback, that's what I hope my son would like to continue on doing. He's doing that now. But if you're able to stop somebody else's best player and you can do a Revis Island kind of thing,
AKA sauce.
Yeah, I think you can make a little bit of extra paper. I think some extra cheese can come into your quarter pounder. All right. Fans, thank you for giving us this opportunity to give our state of the NFL and give my partner a chance to get some of this out that he's had. Mike, any final thoughts on the state of the NFL as we get ready for the postseason?
Just remember, it is entertainment. It is entertainment. At the end of the day, it's a business. And it's not what you think it is as far as what these players make and everything. But I'll take it. It's the best thing going for us on a Sunday for 18 weeks or so.
Yeah.
So it's entertaining. Yeah.
All right. So next week we return to our regularly scheduled programming. The playoff races will be more clear, and I know the OCP team will be ready. So on behalf of my tag team partner, Coach Mike Francis, I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast. And we will see you on the sidelines. Till next time, take care. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
The Odd Coaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches Podcast.